I don't know if you saw this last night, but the NFL held a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Now, yesterday, we shared with you the big scoreboard presentation of Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, at Yankee Stadium in New York.
Right.
Incredibly lefty New York.
Yeah.
Now, this was the Green Bay Packers and the NFL hold a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. And obviously, I love this. I think that what we need to make sure that we do, need some video, is make sure that we are pointing out that there's a lot of good that is happening. And this is what happened last night.
In a moment of silent reflection following the murder of Charlie Kirk, the NFL condemns all violence in our communities. It will take all of us to stop hate. Thank you.
And there you go. Moment of silence for Charlie Kirk from the NFL, which is great because, the NFL is incredibly, lefty these days. The other thing that happened, and this was great. Did you see that President Trump was in Yankee Stadium, talking about Yankee Stadium, when he was the Yankees were playing the Tigers, and apparently the game last night, Trump goes to the locker room. It's not playoffs time, is it? I'm so out of touch with baseball these days. But no, it's only September, so I don't think are the playoffs going on right now, Sam, for baseball?
Sorry, repeat that, Dan.
Are the baseball playoffs going on right now?
No.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm so out of touch with baseball these days. But President Trump was in the Yankees locker room. Listen to what he said.
Well, you're going to win. I'll tell you what, George Steinbrenner was a great friend of mine, the whole family. It's a great family, and Randy is wonderful, and I will say you're going to win. George used to coach. For some reason, I don't know what it was, we won every time I came. Randy, is that right? Every time we came, we'd win a game, and he'd call me. He was, you think that was easy sitting with him for a game? It wasn't. It was brutal. You were exhausted at the end, but he won, and you're going to win. You're going to go all the way, and you'll get in the playoff, and I think you're going to do, I think we'll start off, how about tonight? We'll start from tonight on.
There you go.
And you're going to do well. Randy was telling me.
So that Donald Trump inspiring the Yankees, 9-3 victory over the Tigers. Now, Fox News is reporting that Donald Trump has said that, and this is a quote, I think we have him. Donald Trump is announcing that he believes that they have arrested the guy that murdered Charlie Kirk. Now, I don't know when Trump says, can we see if we can find the audio? Because I'd like to hear the cadence. Like when he says, I think we have him, does that mean that they've arrested him or that they're closing in and they know who the guy is and so forth? Like, that's what I need to know.
So right now, what they're saying is that there is a suspect in custody.
They've had two others. Course.
Confirming it on an interview on Fox and Friends this morning, stating that authorities have the individual in custody. It comes after an intense man. So details, none. But that's what the president said, and he's going on here, just talking about other things.
Is he? You want to pot him up? Is he on Fox?
Yeah, he's on Fox. I can pot it up. Here you go.
I didn't want to remember Charlie that way, but it's horrific is what I hear, just horrific. I hear that nobody can, I know friends that were there, and they told me, they said, what we witnessed, the physical emotion of being there, or watching it on television. He was somebody that, I always said he was very talented, but, when you love something so much, it's almost not even talent. It's that you do it well because you like it. Yeah. It's a passion. And he had a passion for this. I spoke to his wife yesterday. She's like devastated.
Of course.
But in between the devastation, they want to keep Turning Point going. Because so many people called in to me with donations. They went, I don't know who. Do we give donations to her? Do we give it to Turning Point? Do we give it to, any one of the hundreds of colleges that he worked with or universities? And they want to keep Turning Point going. They think they can do it. He had a very good staff, I noticed. Charlie would call me up. I'm president of the United States, and I get a call like a day before. Sir, could you come to Arizona tomorrow? I said, Charlie, I'm president. I can't just come. He said, it's so important. Could you play? And I'd usually try and get there. He's the only one.
20,000.
Yeah, he was such a great guy that he had to end this way. But, in many ways, he's bigger now because of what happened. He was really big, important. And I guess this doesn't help his family very much when I say this, but in terms of, very, very important, getting that such a good word, such a solid word. We have so many bad people, so many bad philosophies, ideologies, politics. His was basically just good. Family, he talked about family, he talked about get married, go get married. It sounds old-fashioned when you think about it, but he's right. He was just on. And it's a shame that voice has been stopped. But I think from what I see, he had I got to know a lot of his people. He had great people, and that includes his wife. She's very talented. He said she's the best writer he's ever seen. She's a writer, among other things.
So, Dan, I have the actual audio of him making that announcement, if you'd like that.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Now,
I've got it, too. I've actually got the video queued up.
You want to do it? Because I would just do it from my phone. I think you probably got better quality.
Oh, no, I've got it. I've got it here.
Yeah.
So this is Donald Trump just moments ago, and he's talking about how they've got the suspect in custody.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
All right. So President Trump
says
they have...
And we have a press conference scheduled for 8 o'clock. So 45 minutes from now, we should learn much more.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. 8 o'clock our time, right?
Yes. Yep. 8 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock Eastern time.
So we need to clear some room for that press conference. So we're going to try to take it live, which is incredibly, just so you folks know, incredibly difficult. But we are going to take that live, and we will find out all the very latest. Keep an eye on Twitter and all the socials. But President Trump, again, saying just moments ago on Fox News that they do have, with a high degree of certainty, a suspect in custody.
So I was getting a couple phone calls, people that wanted to give some information, an update on the Cumberland University professor that was put on leave for their comments yesterday. There's now a student-organized protest at 8 a.m. to have that teacher permanently fired, not just put on leave.
I hate this dancing around with just put on leave or suspended.
Oh, yeah, because they still get paid when that happens, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting. I want to play a piece of audio that I thought was effective and impactful. This is a woman who says she gets the outrage as conservatives are frustrated and upset because people like Stephen King and others are lying about what Charlie Kirk stood for. You just heard Donald Trump when he was talking about everything that Charlie stood for, and this woman loved Charlie Kirk, and she's horrified by what she's seeing on the left.
I am 25, and I now understand how people cry over deaths that they didn't know the person, because my heart literally hurts for Charlie Kirk. It does. It hurts because they really killed this man over disagreements. Literally. They literally killed this man because he was calling out, speaking facts, speaking common sense, speaking common decency.
Yep.
Well, it should be common. My heart hurts for him. It does.
She's absolutely right. Senator Marsha Blackburn is calling for a Secret Service agent who should be fired by saying that Charlie Kirk's assassination was karma. And so Senator Blackburn wants this guy to be fired. This was from Newsmax. In a letter to Secret Service Director Sean M. Curran, Blackburn demanded immediate action against the Secret Service agent, guy by the name of Anthony, Pough. Is that Poe? According to Real Clear Politics, he posted on Facebook, "If you are mourning this guy, delete me. He spewed hate and racism on his show. especially when he should be mourning the innocent children killed in Colorado. He continued, at the end of the day, you answer to God and speak things into existence. You can only circumvent karma. She doesn't leave. And so Senator Blackburn wants that person fired. I believe that she should be fired. In her letter, Blackburn wrote, put simply, your employee celebrated and attempted to justify a political assassination. This conduct is inexcusable, and I urge you in the strongest possible terms to immediately terminate his employment. Under the failed leadership, she continued, under Director Kimberly Cheadle, a massive operational failure within the Secret Service nearly led to President Trump's assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania, just 2 months later. There is a second attempt on President Trump's life, she says as she wraps up. Even more concerning, it took 2 assassination attempts before the Secret Service finally elevated President Trump's security detail to that of a sitting president, she wrote. Blackburn said the latest revelations prove the agency remains riddled with bad actors and in desperate need of reform. Now, there's that guy who works at Cumberland University here in Tennessee. He also saying karma is beautiful when it came to Charlie Kirk. He also said the only reason he didn't kill his parents is because he would get caught. Did you see this guy? Do you see this guy? He was clearly this guy is a freak job. The guy from Cumberland University. Apparently, he wears dresses to school, and you had a whole bunch of students that actually didn't want to go to class because of all this.
I'm just, I'm shell shocked. That's at least from my understanding, that was a Christian university.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
It's a private university.
But generally, Christian universities have a standard that you have to adhere to in order to be employed at that school.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Apparently, again, this guy wearing dresses to school talked about wanting to kill his parents because he didn't. He said the only reason he wouldn't kill his parents is because he was afraid that he would get caught. And social media posts are claiming that the students actually worry about what this guy is capable of. And he does look like a freak. I mean, if you see it online, he looks like a freak. So the students want this guy gone. And again, from what I'm reading on the socials, the students have been trying to get this guy fired. They were organizing a protest. They ended up canceling classes. That's the crazy thing. There is going to be a big student protest about this particular teacher who was celebrating the death of Donald Trump, calling it karma. The guy is such a freak show. And so the students there at the college were going to have a protest. So the school ended up canceling classes today. So, and did you say they fired him now? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're having a protest.
Okay,
to demand his firing.
Okay. So they canceled classes, but the protest is still going on, which is good. There's another woman, apparently a 911 emergency dispatcher, who posted a cartoon depiction of Charlie Kirk with a bullet hole in his neck.
Yep.
Blood pouring out. It said, debate this. It also posted about his death with the song, No One Mourns the Wicked playing. This is Teresa in Lebanon on WTN. Line 1. Hey, Teresa.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for taking my call. I just find it interesting that President Trump was almost hit where Charlie was. And I wonder if there is an underground conspiracy or club or organization that's trying to pick him off.
Well, thank you for the call, Teresa. I would say that for President, I'm sorry, hold on. What do you? I got Sam. I don't know if you see this. Sam is trying to point at me. What do you want me? You want me to take that call? All right. This is Ron in Lebanon. Oh, Ron, you're a professor.
No.
Wants to talk about the professor.
Oh, he wants to talk about the professor. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry. I'm so confused.
Good morning, Dan. I had just wanted to give a little insight on Dr. Rex at Cumberland. He is everything that y'all are saying he is. My daughter graduated from Cumberland College and had to have him for some classes, and he would be cross-dressed in some of the classes, and you had to agree with his views or you would, get a low grade or not pass that class, and she struggled with that for a long time, but she did survive, and I agree 110%. He needs to be fired. All the other institutions are firing theirs, but then he gets to give a lame apology and get away with it. I disagree with it wholeheartedly.
So his name, you said, well, hold on. So I'm curious about this. So he is Professor, is it Ron, you said?
No, Rex.
Professor
R-E-X.
Professor
I'm Ron.
Rex. Okay.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
And he would just wear dresses to school?
Yes, sure would. Yep. He
That's
did.
insane.
He wore them. I don't think he wore them all the time, but most of the times that my daughter was in his class, he'd have a dress on. So, yes.
That wouldn't be too distracting, would it, Joan? Trying to sit there and take
yeah.
notes and, professor's in a dress and he's a dude. But I think, but here's the thing. I find the fact that if he would debate the students, I guess, what did he teach? Do you know? Ron?
Dan, I'm sorry. I don't know what he taught. So I don't remember that. It's been a few years. So, but I just wanted to give that insight, Dan. I appreciate y'all bringing this to light. You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate it. So some of the things that we've seen, Joan, is, a professor of like math or algebra or calculus would engage their students in a debate over social issues or political issues. Now, when I was in political science, when I was a kid in college, I would take it, and the instructor, I remember him, and he would engage us in a debate, but he would show both sides. He was actually really good. And so if this guy was debating students engaging in a debate and they didn't agree with him, then what from Ron is saying, he would give them a bad grade.
Yeah, see.
And my question is, how long has this been going on?
Right. I mean, isn't the purpose to draw people to create an argument, make their conclusion? The critical thinking process. That's what this is supposed to be.
I'm told he is a professor of English and creative writing. So I don't know where that political stuff comes in, but yeah. And what were you saying, Joan?
That the process of creating critical thinking, I mean, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
You're not supposed to be. Yeah. You're right. State your argument, debate, just like Charlie Kirk used to do.
Yes.
Right? So anyway. All right. So there's a lot going on right now. Number one, Donald Trump. And I got a lot of stuff going on here. So Donald Trump needs some video on Fox and Friends just a few minutes ago.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
So there you go. Donald Trump says a suspect is in custody. 737, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Former Congressman Mark Green is joining us on the Newsmaker Hotline. Former Congressman Mark. What do I call you? Do I still call you Congressman? Do I just call you Mark? Mark feels weird and awkward.
Mark is fine with me. I used to tell people that when I was a physician, too. I didn't really care about being called doctor, but Congressman is, I guess, the technical title if you're asking. So it's good to hear your voice, Dan.
It's good to talk to you again, and I want to go ahead and share some news that you probably are hearing for the first time now, Mark, and that is that President Trump has announced that he is going to be working to send the National Guard into Memphis. This is what he said moments ago on Fox News.
I think maybe I'll be the first to say it right now again. We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
that's the next city.
Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington. I would have preferred going to Chicago. I had a man in the head of a big railroad. They're doing a merger, and he wanted to come see me and all that stuff. And I asked him, because, it's one of the largest train companies, maybe the largest, so you can figure out who it is. Okay, Union Pacific. And he was in my office, and he started off 45 years ago with the railroad. It's such a great story. Sir, I'm a railroader. That's the kind of guy that should ride it, as opposed to a Wall Street guy that destroys the railroad, but he's good financially, right? And he was a very impressive guy. And I said, so what do you think? Where should we go next as a city? Because we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a few at a time. But we're going to straighten out the crime in these cities. He said, sir, Memphis would be good because he's on the board of FedEx. He said, when I walk 1 block to my hotel, they won't allow me to do it. They put me in an armored vehicle with bulletproof glass to take me 1 block. He said, it's so terrible. I said, let me ask you a question. So we're going to Memphis. I'm just announcing that now, and we'll straighten that out.
National Guard?
National Guard and anybody else we need. And by the way, we'll bring in the military, too, if we need it.
So there you go. Former Congressman Mark Green is joining us real quick. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, you're a Tennessean.
Yeah, I mean, it gives federal resources to the issue. Yeah. But it's it's admitting. I mean, the mayor's admitting failure there.
Yeah.
So there's an upside overall that we'll get the problem fixed, but it's just it shows that the failures from that mayor, and honestly, it's a cultural issue that's driving this in our country, and just like what happened this week, we have to solve that problem. Yeah. Most importantly, right? And it's a moral issue, and so glad he's doing it, but hate that he had to.
Absolutely. And so everyone knows the background. You retired there in the middle of your term as a congressman. Have you had any regrets that you stepped away, that you stepped aside?
No, I haven't at all. The opportunity that came to me to make a difference for our country in the private sector was just too great and very timely. The window was closing for this opportunity. And what I'm trying to do, the vision statement for my company is very clear. America wins the battle for allies, China loses. And that's the first slide in my slide deck. And so I am here to help American businesses compete internationally, take them overseas to markets, expand into overseas markets, not move them overseas, but to expand them overseas. Because if an American company doesn't do it, a Chinese company will. And we are in a battle for world order. The future conduct of the world is between freedom and tyranny. And what I was doing in Congress, yes, I made a difference, probably more so than many. First congressman to ever impeach a sitting cabinet secretary. First congressman to get a chairmanship after just 2 terms in 70 years. I was making a difference, but I'm a man of action. And that place, the productivity level out of that place is so stinking low that it was driving me insane. And I have for all of my life fought for this country. 36 years total service to the country, and I could make a difference here. I know I can. I mean, I'm taking a Tennessee poultry company to a foreign country that they don't make their own eggs. I'm taking a Tennessee cement plant to a foreign country that is building massively, and it's better that it's an American company than a Chinese company. And so that's what I'm doing, and I feel passionate about it. I'm driven, and I'm actually seeing results, which is almost impossible in Washington, D.C.
Well, Congressman, you know China's Belt and Road Initiative. I mean, that is how China gets their claws into all of these different countries around the world. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to essentially stop the spread of communism.
Yeah, in a sense, yes. And it's a different, it's a communism with a Chinese sort of bent to it, right? Yeah. Almost more Chinese imperialism, to be completely honest. But I studied China for years in the military and in Congress, and this is the existential threat to freedom, as well as the one we just talked about. Interestingly enough, the moral issues and decline, the cultural issues inside our country. But I let the pastors and the school teachers and the moms and dads have got to address that one. This fight with China, I could make a difference, and I'm gonna.
When you left, I'm curious from more of a, I don't know, emotional thing. When you left, it had to be like you were walking around in a 150-degree temperature, and you leave Washington, D.C., you come back, and it's got to feel like you're walking into an air-conditioned building.
That's a great analogy. I'm a CEO of a company again, and most of my service to the country, I was either as a commander in the Army or a physician running the code, or I've always been in an executive level jobs, ran my own healthcare companies. So now it is so much better when you can cast the vision and people go, "Yep, we'll execute," and they go and execute it, right? So that's a big relief. Yeah.
All right, so you're here on some business. You are endorsing a candidate to replace you in Congress, and that candidate is?
Matt Van Epps, yeah,
Okay.
former Night Stalker with, that he's from, well, he went to West Point a few years after me, I'll admit, but served in the military, multiple trips to combat in the same unit, which was the elite aviation, special operations aviation unit, Black Hawk Down. He was a pilot for those guys, and that means he's the best of the very best in the aviation world in the military. Then he gets out, and he has a heart for service too, so he goes to work for the state of Tennessee. He was over at Economic Development, helping bring businesses to Tennessee. Governor Lee appoints him as a commissioner, one of the younger commissioners, and he runs GSA, which is basically all of the employees in the state of Tennessee, all the buildings, the budget. I mean, he's got conservative management, conservative leadership, and he's a fighter. And I'll tell you, it's not there are the problem in Washington between the good congressman and the bad congressman is not what they believe, it's how they do it. It takes a sophistication to be able to move people inside the building. Everybody can get in front of a camera and bash the left. That's the easy part. They make it easy because they're idiots. But the sophisticated guy who can go in there, convince their colleagues that they have to vote on something or oversight something a certain way, or move the budget a certain way, that is different. That takes a skill set that I don't think anybody else has in this race. A lot of great guys. I know them all. They're friends of mine, some of them. But Matt is the right guy to replace me.
Remind me, because this is going to go back to before my time. Were you in the state legislature? The state legislature?
Yeah, I'm the guy that passed a bill that ended the hall income tax. I pushed that for 4 years. I was a state senator. Took 4 years to get it done. Everybody's been talking about, we got to end the hall income tax. Got to end the hall income.
The reason I ask is because Matt Van Epps is one of the only of the top four that never served in the state legislature. The other three, not only are they attorneys, but they have also all served in the state legislature, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, how big of a deal is that to you that Matt Van Epps has not served in the state legislature while the other three have? Do you see that as a negative or a positive, or it's a wash?
I think it's a wash. Most of your congressmen did not serve in a state legislature. So understanding the processes, so how a bill goes from one place to another, how it works through a committee, that's pretty quick, pretty easy to learn, especially for a kid who got into West Point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a problem. I think you'll be fine.
Well, you're out campaigning. You're obviously back in Tennessee, and I know that it's been a minute since you've been able to just spend a lot of time in Tennessee, back home. It's got to be great for you to not only be back home, but be out on the campaign trail, talking to folks about Matt Van Epps. And so you're feeling good. And can you give the name of your company in case people are listening and thinking, yeah, you know what, I want to expand into China? Do you have a website or anything?
We probably won't be expanding into China, but
you know what I mean.
China. Yeah. Prosimos, Prosimos, Prosimos. It's an acronym, and you can go to prosimos.com. There's a contact there. You can send me a note and say your business is ready. So we'll find you the partner overseas in the right country to go to.
All right. Mark, former Congressman Mark Green, thank you very much for calling in, and
Thanks,
good luck
Matt.
with Matt out on the campaign trail.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, man.
Thanks.
See you later. All right. 7:49, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, where are we at? We have a press conference coming up in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump, in case you missed it, Donald Trump has announced that they are going to be going into Memphis. And Donald Trump has announced that they have a suspect that has been arrested in custody. You know, real quick, Blaze has actually been holding for a minute. Blaze, go ahead real quick before we go to this press conference.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to put this out there. I'm a 19-year-old first-time voter, and Charlie meant a lot to the younger generation of voters because he not only represented the conservative movement, but that we had a voice. And being a young man in this nation is so incredibly hard it's so incredibly hard these days because we get put down constantly. And I have family on both sides, and the family on the left, I couldn't get through to them that murdering is terrible, and they were being evil about it. And I'm so sad that this is what the world has come to. And I pray for people to learn from this, and hopefully Kirk's this is a lesson to everybody, and hopefully the world can be better.
Well, listen, Blaze, you know what I think? I think that you are going to help change the world. You are 19 years old. You got the world in front of you. You've learned from the absolute best in Charlie Kirk and clearly WTN. And you have so much to offer the world. So when you feel sad that you've got some people in your family who are just, let's just call it for what it is. They're not thinking straight. They're idiots. You've got a lifetime to change those minds. And you are going to be able to change those minds. So you need to get inspiration from Charlie Kirk. And you need to, because you know what? You're right, Blaze. It is really, really hard to be a young man in society today because of all of the things that you have experienced. And so you are the guy that is going to help change minds. And you are the guy, with all of that Charlie Kirk teaching, you are the guy that is going to be able to change hearts, change minds, and bring forward a new conservative revolution. So will you stay in touch with us here at WTN?
Absolutely. I listen to you guys all the time.
Well, thank you, Blaze. I very much appreciate that. And we'll hopefully talk to you again soon. 7:59 on Super Talk. I love to hear young men who are activated.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Joan?
Yes, it's very encouraging.
Yeah, because that tells me when I'm thinking the world is lost, which I do, of course, have those moments, I think of people like Blaze or all the people that have called in the last couple of days talking about what it is that they're feeling and what it is that they want to do moving forward to remember Charlie Kirk and remember what he taught them and remember all of the videos that he has produced. Those videos are timeless. And Blaze, I know you're still on hold. Get on social media and share his videos as much as you possibly can. And thank you very much for calling Super Talk 99.7. All right, so we are kind of in a bit of a tap dancing mode. Joan's got a quick newscast. We're keeping an eye on this press conference. Donald Trump has announced now that we have a suspect in custody. He's been arrested. So that is coming up. President Trump also announced today that he is going to be assisting Governor Lee in bringing the National Guard. And Donald Trump said even the military will be brought in, if need be, into the city of Memphis.